consume, consume, consume. It's what our society is built around. It's what keeps the economy going. It's what grows businesses. And let's face it, sometimes we just need to kick back, get that dopamine hit, and start scrolling through Instagram. But then I heard a quote: stop being a consumer and start being a creator. Now, when I first heard this, I didn't think anything of it. But then later that night, I was watching something on YouTube about how to do something, and that's when it happened. That's when it clicked. All I have ever done is consume what others have created. Whether it be watching random videos on my iPad, or scrolling through Instagram on my phone, or doing something on the laptop, I've never been the type to create anything at all. I've never considered myself creative, and mostly it just came down to the fear of embarrassment or ridicule about people thinking that what I'm doing is stupid. So I just never tried. But for some reason, after that one day, I just kept coming back to that quote in my mind. And I couldn't think of why. Why am I letting this get to me? What is different now? I have a great career, 31, my life is set in stone. I've never created anything, don't know how to create. What would I even create? What does it mean to be a creator? I had all these questions, but yet I still kept coming back to that quote. It just resonated with me for some reason. But I just kept telling myself all these very rational things about why it would be a stupid idea. But then I came across a statistic that there are over 1 billion hours of content consumed on YouTube per day. That's billion with a B. And for there to be that much content consumed, that means that there's even more content created. And I would just be a tiny fish in a huge pond. So what is there to be embarrassed about? If there's that much content out there, that means there's a lot of people looking stupid. And if they can do it, so can I. Maybe this could be something that I try. If nobody watches my stuff anyway, which is the most likely outcome, then what is there to be worried about? After about a month of this back and forth battle in my head, I basically just said screw it and started consuming videos on how to start a YouTube channel, how to make videos, things to think about, softwares to learn. I was still consuming, but now it felt like what I was consuming and researching actually had a purpose. I was taking notes, I was making lists, I was setting a game plan, and I was actually planning out how I would put this into practice, not just mindlessly scrolling on my phone. Now, I've always been the type that learns things pretty quickly, and I've always been pretty tech savvy, so I started to convince myself maybe I could actually do this. In fact, I got so sure of this that I finally built up the courage, told my wife, and she responded with what could only be summarized as, okay, and kept going on with what she was doing. And it was at that moment that I realized that all my thoughts and fears of being embarrassed for even wanting to try something new were just all in my own head, and nobody really cared about what you do with your free time, especially if you enjoy doing it. And that's when I decided, it's time, I'm going to do it. So now it was at this time that the amount of research and stuff I was looking at just went into overdrive to plan out how I was actually going to do this. What sort of gear do I need? How to come up with ideas, scripting, storytelling, how to actually talk to the camera, which, newsflash, it's hard. And I still feel like a baby giraffe trying to walk for the first time. There is a lot to learn. But I do plan to make a future video series on this, so you don't have to watch 1,000 videos like I did. I'll break down the steps, the basics, so you can get started making your YouTube channel and being a creator, not a consumer. So be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon so you don't miss anything, and thanks for your support. After a few more weeks of all this planning and researching, what I realized it all boiled down to was pretty simple. I could plan forever, I could research forever, I could come up with the perfect idea, or I could just actually try, just start. So I was ready. I gathered all the gear I had got, the camera, the tripod, the lights, the microphone, got everything all ready, had this whole long script planned out, reached up, hit that record button, and blank. Oh man, this was gonna be way harder than I thought. I couldn't even think of the first word on the script, let alone how to actually structure this video and talk to the camera and explain my thoughts. But I struggled through that first video, I struggled through the second video, the third, and just slowly this fear of coming across looking like an idiot slowly started to fade. Not because I was wrong, I definitely looked like an idiot and still do, but what I realized is nobody really cares. It was fun learning all these new things and finally getting out of my comfort zone for once. And if it's fun, then who cares? If you enjoy it, then do it. Now, I'm sure you've come across some of these stories of these, big YouTubers starting out as a hobby and then slowly it just turning into a multi-million-dollar gig. It's a full-time deal now, but don't expect that to happen for you without a ton of time and effort at least. I don't expect I'll ever get there because I simply just don't have the time to dedicate to get to that level, but it would be cool to get monetized eventually, make a couple extra bucks here and there. And there are a lot of new YouTubers out there breaking down exactly how much money they're making shortly after they get monetized. And it's not a, huge chunk of change, but it is enough to supplement that main income a little bit. And if you're interested in that, then check out my other video on the 5 side hustles you can do to supplement your main income and make some passive income on the side. Now, it can take a while to hit these monetization requirements. You might just get lucky and be a natural and get monetized within the first couple months, but that's pretty rare. Usually it takes, about a year or 2 if you're posting consistently. I'll make a whole video on how to get monetized, what you have to do. You need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch hours within the last 365 days. And once you hit those requirements, you can apply for the YouTube Partner Program and make a couple extra bucks on the side. But as a new YouTuber, the idea shouldn't be to get rich. It should be to change your mindset from consuming to creating. Now, it can feel pretty rewarding when you get that one random comment saying, "Oh, this is so awesome, thanks for making this video." Or when you start to see, your likes actually go up from strangers on the internet. It's a pretty cool feeling. And for me, just seeing improvement from video over video, learning something new on each new video and improving just like 1% each time keeps me coming back. I really like seeing myself grow, learning new things, and it's pretty fun. So in closing, if you're still watching this video, then I'm sure you're sitting exactly where I was just a couple months ago, and my advice to you is simple. Stop consuming, start creating, and if you're considering it, then just try it. What's the worst that can happen? Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.